And our first guest this week joins us via satellite from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Vince Baillargeon. He is the CEO of Paradigm Oil and Gas Incorporated. PDGO is their stock symbol. Vince, good to see you again.
Hey, Don, how are you?
Well, Vince, can you tell us a little bit about Paradigm Oil and Gas and how you got involved, and give us a general overview of the company, please?
Okay. Well, Don, Paradigm Oil and Gas has been around for about 10 years, and it's an oil-producing company and service-oriented business that has a technology and service, meaning where we have trucks and equipment where we help set up oil producers' independence. And, I'm very excited about the company. My primarily business, it's kind of a fluke how I kind of got involved in it. Paradigm Oil and Gas the past 2 years has been kind of sitting idle. It was a very successful company. It was privately held until it merged into a public company about 2 years ago. When it merged into the public company, it was trading about $2.35 a share. And it was trading, very heavy. The management before that were second-generation oil producers. They were very successful. And, they got into the Wall Street arena and they didn't understand the business too well. And long story short, they kind of followed the market. The business collapsed. They shut down their wells. And some of the funds that had invested in it came into the company, and one individual himself had asked me what I was up to, because he knew that I had understood business and I had been in the Wall Street market for many, many years. So I told him I really didn't understand oil and gas, but I knew the business and I knew a lot of top people that really understood oil and gas that I could go for. And he said, well, take a look at the company and see what you think. What I saw was a stock at zero. I saw some assets. I saw a lot of debt, a company that needed a lot of help. I saw some shareholders that were in, it was just like really about ready to go down. They were selling assets off. So I went out to Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, spent about 10 days, went out into the fields to find out if these assets were real. Because, a zero stock, trading at almost nothing, and having a lot of assets in it, it was just too good to be true. Well, those were real assets. I mean, I was out at 4:30 in the morning, and I saw these wells, I saw the property, I saw the machinery. So I came back and I said, you know what, I'll take control of it, I'll give it a shot. If I don't do my job, I want to be the largest shareholder, I want to be able to control it, and I want a contract. If I don't do the job right, I'll give the company back and wish it all the best. Well, long story short, I started to attack and clean up the books. I've gotten about $1 million worth of debt in about 8 months I've been with the company. Down, got about $500,000 in convertible debt taken out. We're down to about $300,000, with most of it is all tradable debt. I have generated some revenue. I started to get some of the wells up and running, and so now we're off to build this business. I'm rebranding it. It's not renaming. I love the name Paradigm, but rebranding it and giving it a whole new look.
Well, Vince, Paradigm states as one of their goals being to identify oil-producing wells and to use modern technology to make them profitable based on modern commodity prices. Can you tell us what's meant by that?
Well, yes, Don. We have a technology called the Centurion, and it's a rig that's based on a trailer that's designed to go in and test wells in low water, low drilling rates. It can go into a property that's been capped, and what happens is a lot of wells are capped because of environmental. If a well's not producing, after a certain amount of time, after several months, the commission can fine it. So the oil producers have to cap them. So when you want to reopen that well, like what we're doing now, you can go in and start drilling and spend thousands and thousands of dollars of trying to get the water to push the oil back up. Well, the Centurion can go in at a very affordable, it's one man in a truck. He can go down and check and see what the water levels are. He can go take it to 1,000 to 2,500 feet, push water through on a pump, and he's limited his capacity, but he's very affordable. And he can tell you whether there's oil and fluids in there, and it can actually get a kickstart that well. So it can get that well operational for pennies on the dollar versus bringing in a rig that can cost you 10 grand a day or a crew of 10, 20,000. So we've taken the Centurion, and we have several. We have a couple of contracts to other oil producers that want to use it to go ahead and test their wells to find out if they're affordable without taking a high risk. So it's a great means, and we've been very fortunate, and we've found our wells to be starting to work that way.
Well, the company's been very busy lately. Tell us about your producing properties and wells.
Well, after I wanted to make sure the assets were secure and getting properly booked back on the books, I had to start producing revenue. There was no revenue in this company for about 2 years. Well, our last quarter in June, we showed about a $40,000 revenue. And our revenue now, we took 3 of our properties, 3 of our wells on 3 different leases. And fortunately, we've taken them, uncapped them, fired them up, and we're producing oil. And one lease alone, we produced 40 barrels of oil in the past 7 days, 7 to 10 days. So we're kind of excited about that because we have over 200 wells and about 23 leases. We have options for other properties to grow and build on. But our core is really to get the fundamental business up and running and starting to generate revenue again for the shareholders and for the company.
Well, it's no secret, Vince, that tensions are high in the Middle East, and that usually spells good news for domestic oil companies. Is the company taking any steps to capitalize on that?
Oh, absolutely. And not just us, a lot of other oil producers are. Don, I never realized on the assets the United States holds. There is so much oil and gas out there, and with the gas prices of natural gas right now, several years ago it was, pennies on the dollar, and now it's dollars on the square foot. And oil at the premium it is, it's floating around the $100 a barrel. But there's so much property from the tip of Canada and the North Dakota region, the Bakkens, to South Texas. And then you can go parts of this country where the unemployment is 0. They're building cities overnight. I was just amazed to see that. So our goal is to get every one of our wells up and running. And if I can get half of our wells up and running from now till, say, this time next year, or all of them up and running, I'm anticipating, somewhere around $8 million minimum in revenue from a company that did nothing. And, they're predicting that the United States in the next 5 years or more will be the #1 exporter in oil and gas in the world, outbeating Saudi Arabia. And I truly believe it because it's in New Mexico, it's in Texas, it's Louisiana, they're getting it in Illinois, it's all over. And, also with the help of the fracking technology has been able to help generate and get the resources of the oil up cheaper than the old-fashioned way that they used to pioneer oil. And same with gas now. Natural gas is such a high demand, and the gas line's coming. And I think there's enough resource in the United States that can change this economy. And I sure as hell hope it all works out the way I think it will.
Well, Vince, oil prices are hovering at or above the $100 level per barrel. Has there ever been a better time to be in the oil business?
No, I don't see a better time at all. If you have an opportunity to get involved in it, I would. But you have to do your research and make sure it's right. If you looked at our company before, it really didn't look like much. There's a lot of people out there attempting it, but, technology has changed the way that people do business, and, there's so much natural resources out there in this great country of the United States. Has got a lot of untapped resources.
Paradigm Oil and Gas Incorporated, PDGO, is their stock symbol. Vince, why is this a good time right now for people to take a closer look at your company?
Well, the stock is probably absolutely at its lowest. We've cleaned up our books. Our audits are about complete. We've gotten this thing back in shape. The past 2 years, nothing was auditable. The company was kind of almost left stranded. It's an exciting time. We've got a great executive team. We've got really great properties. And, we're going to build that fundamental business back up, have that corporate structure right, and I think it's a very good time. The pricing of oil and gas is high, stock's very low, and I think we're going to do what we expect to do.
Once again, Paradigm Oil and Gas Incorporated, PDGO. We've been talking with their CEO, Vince Baillargeon. Vince, fascinating interview. Thanks so much. I know we'll be getting more updates from you over the next several weeks. Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Don. Have a wonderful day.